What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Not actually looking great for Marvel these days. Daredevil didn't even chart on the Nielsen ratings. Thunderbolts just ended its theatrical run with $100 million in the red. And we got Ironheart still coming out, set to crush any and all momentum that we had. And then, of course, Fantastic Four, who it's a bunch of meh because Pedro has really turned people off. And then you got the Thing, and he doesn't have the Brooklyn accent. We're getting the reports of some of the first test screenings, and it's mid to meh. You don't want mid to meh. Thunderbolts was mid to meh. All right. So you need this to make all the money, especially when it's going up against Superman, which is getting better and better as far as word of mouth and projections of money. This is not. And this also is not going to help where, I mean, duh, you could tell if you saw the marketing and the trailers and just how she talked and was presented. But confirming, Matt Shakman, director of Fantastic Four, confirming that Sue Storm is in fact the Fantastic Four's leader and describes her as essentially the Secretary General of the UN. So they're doing press. He spoke to Empire magazine about it. And Shakman describes Sue Storm as, like I said, essentially the Secretary General of the UN, adding that she is the leader of the Fantastic Four in this film. He described her as an aspiring, idealistic leader of what the Fantastic Four represents, as she is in some of the later comic runs. So, much like they do when they do go from the comics, they only use the later runs, the newer ones, and not the ones that made them popular to begin with. This is a growing trend. Again, they've been open and honest about it the whole time, if you were listening. Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Storm, back in April, said that, of course, it would have gender politics explored, saying, she told Entertainment Weekly, rather, if you played an exact 60s Sue today, everyone would think she was a bit of a doormat. So figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represented to each generation, where the gender politics were different, and embody that today was one of the greatest joys of this. Also adding, she says, one of the things I love most from Sue's history is when she becomes Malice and all her dark stuff comes out. I was obsessed with that chapter of her life. So I wanted to make sure that there were tones of Malice in there with her, that she wasn't just the stereotype of goody sweet mother. I've always been really interested in the mess of femininity and how can you be both? How can you be all the things, not just the tough, invincible, powerful woman, but also a mother who gives birth, which is itself a super heroic act. I love that these characters are real humans in a messy family who argue and try to work it out and get things wrong. So right then and there, she's the leader and the mess of femininity. Oh, fun. Silver Surfer, Julia Garner. This is also, if you could get past Pedro, you were then punched in the face that you weren't going to get the actual Norrin Rad. You weren't going to get the actual Surfer. You were going to get Surfer, rather. You were going to get Julia Garner's Shala Ball. I don't know. Either way, she knew what was up. Sharing news that she was surprised that she was cast as the sex-swapped Silver Surfer. She says, we met up at some restaurant in Burbank or something. I don't even remember, but I knew it was for the Fantastic Four. And then I was confused because I was like, wait, isn't the Silver Surfer a man? I was just like, okay, well, I'll play anything. And that's the other point. A lot of these actors, they have no scruples. They'll play anything. Looking at you, Papa Esiadu for Snape. Again, saying that she knew this character was just going to be sex swap Norrin Rad. I knew who the Silver Surfer was, and I got to know the Silver Surfer more when I signed on to the project. I really dived in, read a lot of the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer comics before starting the project. Hey, bless her for that. And I knew this Fantastic Four was going to be told in a very different way than even the other movies. So she is, in fact, playing Shala Ball. She says she's the Herald of Galactus, so she works for Galactus, but you're not sure where she stands. Does she stand with her boss, or is she just doing what she's told? She has this mysterious energy about her, and it's slowly that mystery will get resolved, get solved with the audience throughout watching it. Gee, do you think it's just literally switched and she's doing it to save Norrin in an odd twist of fate? When asked specifically what was different about other live-action Silver Surfers, she said, what makes this version different is that the movie is just different. First of all, I'm a woman, so that's already different, and that hasn't been told before. This Silver Surfer feels more mysterious in a way, even how it was written, meaning they didn't actually write backstory, so it's mysterious. Then even though Shalabal has backstory, they didn't do the trouble of even doing that. Yeah. Then the other ones also, just the world feels so different with the 1960s retro futurism going on. The audience is going to get a completely different experience with this movie, so they'll have a clean palette. Well, by all accounts, you're going to get a mid to meh thing with this movie that we know that they leave on a spaceship because it's at the end of Thunderbolts that just lost $100 million. So yeah, that being said, and if we look over there, it's still 20 million people, about 10 million less than have watched that Superman trailer in shorter time. So interest is definitely more on the DC side. It's hard. Obviously, we talked about what was coming out previously and what had come out previously and all the lost leaders. Marvel has a lot of work to do. And based on Bob Iger not even being happy with his 2026 lineup and reportedly not being happy with Kevin Feige and the Russos and all the things. Yeah, not looking good. Either way, let me know what you think about all this. Sue Storm, leader of Fantastic Four. Can't wait to see it. Anyway, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. Getting closer to 10,000. Hey, thank you. And if you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.